What's up, everybody? Before I start talking about my opinions and thoughts on the Xbox One, I want to mention that I am not a fanboy of any video game company or system. I like games, and I will buy whatever system that has games on it that I want to play. I want to mention that before I start talking about negative or positive opinions I have towards the Xbox One. Also, I know that there are many videos already up online talking about the system and the press conference from yesterday, and all the gaming websites obviously have been covering it since yesterday. So probably not much I'm going to say is new, but this is more of like an opinion kind of thing, and I really wanted to do this video because I think this is possibly one of the bigger changes that might be happening in our video game world very soon. As a video game collector, I think it'll affect me, possibly in the decisions of what systems I buy games for, in the near future. Let's get started. I guess yesterday was the press conference, and I watched it through IGN on their website, and it was, I don't know, it was kind of boring. It gave, tons of information about the system, which was good. It showed the system, showed the controller, but as a video game fan tuning in, which I'm going to take a guess and say that probably most of the people that actually took the time to tune in and watch the press conference were all game fans. And as a game fan, it just seemed that the conference wasn't for me. It was more of for someone that maybe liked to almost kind of play games every once in a while, but they were more of a fan of watching television or surfing the web, or sports, sports fans. And obviously there are millions of those people, but, while watching the conference, there was definitely light on the games. Now, they did mention, though, that there are 15 exclusive titles that will be coming to the Xbox One in the first year of it being out, which is awesome. And 8 of those are brand new franchises. That's even better. The 360 was definitely lacking in exclusive, titles and exclusive franchises. The PS3 definitely had quite a few more, so that's good news to hear for them. But they said that they would show, that stuff mainly at E3. Okay, that's only a few weeks away, but it was sort of a bummer to tune in and watch this specific unveiling of this new video game system and it having barely any video game information. I don't have cable television myself, so all that time they spent talking about that was, sort of in one ear and out the other. I personally won't use any of those features. I watch, TV shows through Netflix, basically, and I have a movie collection, and every once in a while I'll watch a movie through there as well. So those aspects weren't really interesting, and I'm not a sports fan. Obviously, there are millions of sports fans that are also gamers. But, so the aspects of EA Sports and showing off, the games that we know that come out every single year was not very interesting at the conference. All that aside, I mean, that's sort of normal stuff for those kind of conferences. So I wasn't really bummed. The big key points for me, and seems like for most people, have been the really vague information that actually was answered at the conference or afterwards regarding quite a few things. Like, is the system a always-on, system? Do you always have to have it plugged in, online at all times, to do anything with? And the answers were, no, to sort of, and then, basically there was, I read a statement not too long ago that was, no, you don't always have to have it on, but you will have to have it connected online, or something to that point. And it seems like at least once a day or so, while you're doing stuff, playing a game or watching a movie or whatever you're doing, you'll have to connect it to the internet for a brief period of time, maybe, just to show that, hey, I still have an internet service, and I still, I'm doing stuff with my Xbox One. Please let me continue. That seems a little odd. I mean, so in a sense, yeah, the system would sort of be like, you have to have an internet source, to use it. No, you might not have to have it plugged in every second while you're using it, but it doesn't seem to make much difference. If you don't have internet, that's not going to help you. What are you going to do? Carry the fucking system over to your friend's house and plug it in there real quick and then come home or something? So that's definitely a big issue. Another one is the fact of being able to play a game more than, on more than one system or on more than one account. And there was a lot of confusion and mixed answers with that. And some of the answers were, okay, well, if you want to play it over at a friend's house, you have to, transfer your account over there. And then when you leave from your friend's house and you're not playing on his system anymore, you'll just transfer your account back to yours to play your game on it. And that's like, okay, whatever. And in the sense of, if you have more than one person playing on the same console at your house, you have multiple kids, or in my case, my wife and me, you can play the same game on the same system on different accounts. You have to go into like parent or parental settings to change that or something. But so those were answers, at least, that they weren't horrifying. You could still technically play the game over on a different system, blah blah blah. But what kind of was left vaguely, in the open was, if say you bought a used game, or your friend gave you his, what do you do? What can you do? And the only clear answer that Microsoft gave was, the Xbox One has been designed for trading in games, and you can get used games for it. But at this time, we're not giving out like any specifications on the process on how you go about doing that. And what that entails is purchasing, a pass to then play that used game, and what that price would be. And the rumors and the answers that have been given have been anywhere from possibly up to the full retail price, which in that case really wouldn't make the used game, a purpose. If you're going to basically be buying, paying the full, new price for it, then that's not going to really make a difference. To everything from, from that to, well, they could be different. It could, depend on certain things. So they basically backpedaled, and the few different, higher ups that were giving answers, they were giving different kind of answers. So they sort of, stopped, and they just said, at this time, we don't have an answer for you. So that brings me to the fact that I am a video game collector, obviously. I always see my game collection as like a library. Maybe I'm not going to play a game, or beat a game right now. Maybe I won't beat it until 5 or 10 years from now. Who knows? I mean, I have games from 15 years ago that I bought that maybe I never beat, or I never fully beat. So I like to think that I can always go back and play that. Just like a book. If I had a library, maybe I want to read that book again. I'll go back and, check it out. The fact of, if this Xbox One system is more or less, you have to install the games to the system. You have to verify every single game with your system through online to make sure that it's, you bought it new, or you had to buy another pass for it. It's more or less you're renting the games. Yeah, depending on how long the system lasts. I keep pointing at my Xbox 360 like the Xbox One is over there. Whatever. More or less like, yeah, if the system lasts, say, for 10 years, and the service is going on for 10 years or whatever, that's a long rental time, but you don't feel like you actually own the game yourself. And that's why I've never, I'm not a fan personally of downloadable games. There are tons of amazing downloadable titles, but in the sense of me spending 10, 20, 30, all the way up to maybe even $60 or whatever to download a game, I personally don't do that, and I wouldn't do that, because there's so many physical games that I would like to buy and play, and like I said, maybe I won't get to them, and beat them for many, many years. So that is definitely going to be a major factor for me with the PS4 and the Xbox One, is that if on the PS4, I don't have to, basically register every single game that I get, then I might be, buying games that come out on both on the PS4, and only really, buy exclusive titles on the Xbox One, like a Halo game or whatever. So it's definitely concerning, and those are the main features that sort of have most people's attention, are being talked about right now. Specs are another big thing, like all the detailed specs on the Xbox One system itself, and some of those answers haven't been fully divulged. It seems like certain aspects of the Xbox One won't be as powerful as the PS4, but personally myself, I'm not as concerned about those. I'm more concerned about the fact of, will I actually be able to play a game on this system in 10, 15 years from now? Or if I bought a used one, will there be a code service up for for the next 30 years where I could purchase a pass to play this game? So I guess that's it. I mean, that was a good solid 10 minutes of me rambling about that, but it's a big turning point, and honestly, one that I did not really see coming this generation. I thought that when they announced PS4, and granted, not every single answer has been put out there for the PS4 either. There might be some crazy little weird surprise we might find out, but some of the more important ones were answered, and the PlayStation 4 announcement conference was definitely like, hey, you like video games? You're watching this because this is a video game system? Good, that's what we're talking about. And the Xbox, the Microsoft one was not. It was more of like, we hope to take every device possible and put it together into one system, and then it's still a video game system. But so yeah, I'll be keeping a close eye on what happens with both consoles. But as it seems right now, like I said, I'm just surprised that Microsoft with this generation, it looks like they're possibly going the route of, we really don't want you buying any more used games, but if you do, here's what you have to do to get around that. It's scary. It's a little scary, but oh well. That's it. Let me know what your opinions are in the comments down below. Are you planning on getting an Xbox One? Are you sort of like me and are maybe thinking like you're going to buy both PS4 and Xbox One, but PS4 is sounding more, tempting in the sense of the long run of, yeah, I could still play my games on it, no problem, with ease. Leave those opinions and comments down below, and thumbs up the video if you don't mind. I almost forgot. Tomorrow will be my full 2013 Game Room tour. I posted a little message on the Facebook today mentioning that it will be up tomorrow. I'll leave a link in the description also for the Facebook page. If you've never been there, go check it out, go like it. But yes, tomorrow, sometime in the middle of the afternoon, I will upload my full updated Game Room tour, which I've been wanting to do now for a couple months. It's all been reorganized and everything, so keep an eye out for that, and I will see you all then tomorrow. Peace!